What is up, guys? My name is Coriola, and welcome to episode 10 of my Out of the Park Baseball 18 franchise with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and we are here today at the 2020 midseason. Right now, we are 31-26, which is good for a half game back of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are not having nearly as good of a season as they did last year. They are only one loss ahead of us. As of right now, we are here at the first year player draft. Let's take a look at our team. And our pitching staff has been kind of some been good, some been bad. And one of the bad is we lost Dylan Bundy for the year. He fractured his elbow. But the good has definitely been Archie Bradley and Nathan Eovaldi. Bradley has a 1.67 ERA through 86 and a third innings pitched. Eovaldi 2.97 through 72 and 2/3, and then the not so great Robbie Ray 5.59 after we gave him that extension. Not looking great now, but it's only 2 more years after this year. Anthony Banda 4.01, not bad, regressing in both his rating and his ERA, but that's not surprising. And Braden Shipley, who we put in to replace Bundy, has been serviceable at 4.14. Guan Yu Yong, our new closer, has been really good. 2.74 ERA, 14 saves. JT Chargeois and Caleb Fleck have not done very well as our setup guys. 5.54 and 8.74 ERA. Jared Miller regressing a bit, but still having a good season. 2.50 ERA. Justin Grimm 3.38. We signed Hunter Street. He has had a 4.50 ERA, and Michael Givens has had a 4.15. So, like I said, up and down from our pitching staff. We also sent Jake Barrett down to AAA. He had a 6.14 ERA when we sent him down. Offensively, one interesting thing is Jake Rogers has actually taken the starting catcher spot from Oscar Hernandez. So we might look to trade Hernandez as he's costing us quite a decent bit of money. Neither of them are hitting particularly well, but Hernandez has been pretty bad, so our manager, who is named Torey Lovullo, is that their real-life manager? I think it is. Yeah, it's their real-life manager. Torey Lovullo has decided that Jake Rogers would be better as the starting catcher, and in AAA, Clint Coulter, whose injury is actually doing really well, 300 ERA. So if we look to trade Hernandez, we would bring Coulter up to be our backup catcher. So our lineup: Pollock 2.55, 10 home runs. Mark Zanguis not very well, 2.38. Akiri Higashi 2.88, 9 home runs, 3.58 on base. He's been really good so far. Paul Goldschmidt 2.65, 12 home runs. Mashing as always. Dwight Smith, who's actually now our starting right fielder, has a 2.48 average. Ildemaro Vargas has a 3.13 average, 3.94 on base. Jose Iglesias 2.38, and Jake Rogers 2.28. We called up Keston Hiura, and I'd like to see him starting. He's hitting pretty well so far with us, 2.73 average in only 11 at bats, but he was not doing great in AAA. But I decided to call him up anyway to fill in the hole left by Socrates Brito, who was hitting really well but strained his hamstring. And I was hoping Hiura would start in left and Zanguis would move to right, but our manager Lovullo has not done that so far. Other members of our bench: Hernandez 1.30, Mark Matias 2.63, Danny Santana 3.10, Keston Hiura 2.73, and Brock Holt 2.50. So let's get into the first year player draft. We have the 21st pick after a very good season last year. Let's go through the top 10. I do not believe these are real prospects. I believe they do real prospects for 3 years. Although I recognize the name Dylan Cagle. But no, I don't think these are real players. But don't hold me to that. St. Louis has the number 1 overall pick. They take Jimmy Terry, who we just looked at. Kind of reminds me of Huria, honestly, those ratings. Cincinnati, number 2, takes Gil Mertz, I want to say. a lefty who looks not great. You'd probably want stuff higher, and obviously 50 control is always a concern. Seattle takes Bobby Mitchell, another outfielder. Not terrible. Again, reminds me of Huria. Now right fielder, Danny Davis. All these outfielders are kind of starting to blend together. Milwaukee, number 5, takes a first baseman, Eli Suver, who actually was my favorite prospect, and really looks like a really good first baseman. And so they got a good player. I didn't think he was going to get to us. Detroit takes Dan Gaines, right fielder with a lot of pop. And the Tigers again take Dylan Cagle. Looks like a decent righty. Minnesota takes Sergio Corona. Not spectacular, 60 across the board. Good command. I forgot who that was. It took a pretty good third baseman, Jorge Salas. And that was San Diego. And Atlanta at number 10 takes Mitch Lunt, power hitting right fielder. And I'll see what Kansas City does. They take Rob Schumacher, who looks like a really good pitcher, who I probably would have taken if he had fallen to us. So let's just go to our pick and see what we've got. Second baseman, shortstop. Last time we took a shortstop in the first round, it didn't really work out for us. Our scouting director recommends Dave Ransaw, who I do not see on this list. Not sure. I'm thrilled about taking a 3-star shortstop who strikes out a lot and doesn't have great contact. I'm not sure about taking him in the first round, so let's keep looking. Couple catchers here. Not really catching my eye. Eric Riley doesn't look terrible. Jorge Salazar looks like a pretty good pitcher. Jorge Salazar looks like a really good pitcher, actually. And I think I'm going to be taking Jorge Salazar with our first pick. I might come back to Dennis in the second round. Yeah, I'm going to be taking that pitcher, Jorge Salazar, from East Tennessee State. All right. Second round pick. Is that center field? No, it's not the one I saw. Is this the other guy? I think the guy I liked got taken. Yeah. Morgan Roth. Interesting last name. All right. They're recommending pitcher Ben Chokonov. Is he Russian? Kind of sounds Russian. Not thrilled about him. So we keep looking. It's different center fielder. And this is actually, I just mentioned him, Morgan Roth. Rogelio Gisbert, saw him. Not spectacular. Andy Stark doesn't have very good contact. I don't like that. I thought he was a fielder. They always get me. Here's a left-handed pitcher who doesn't look like a big risk. Arturo Silva, or a first baseman. Kind of like Silva from Arkansas. Catcher with no pop. That's something I've noticed. The catchers do not have a lot of power in this game. So we're going to go 2 pitchers. Where is Silva? Arturo Silva from the University of Arkansas. Round 3. They're recommending Hack, center fielder. And I will go with him. Round 4. We've gone under slot for the first few picks, so I am definitely confident in taking a guy who looks like a really good impossible player. Those are some impressive ratings. Alright, recommendation for round 5 is another impossible Nissim Karpat. I don't think we go over slot on 2 guys in a row. So let's look through the 2 stars. Here's a pitcher, doesn't look terrible. RJ Halloran or Dwayne Rudge. Anyone else catch the eye? He's a catcher, don't... Ooh. Zach Martin, catcher with decent hitting ratings. I think we will take... Or Thomas Dillard. That's a real guy. And I believe he didn't sign with Detroit last year. That's a real player. But I don't think the rest of the class is real. So I liked Halloran. Take him. See if Martin's still there. He is. So is Dwayne Rudge. I'll take Martin and then look at Rudge next round. He's still there. Perfect. He's a Canadian. I love Canadians. Canada's a great place. I'm actually looking at going to college in Canada. So that's cool. Who next? So right fielder with some good pop. I think, unless there's anyone our scouting director really likes, I think we're going to let, like Nessim again. I'm going to let, is it our assistant GM or scouting director, one of those two, finish the draft. My chair's being very loud today, as it usually is, so I don't think you guys should be that surprised. But I'm pretty happy with our draft so far. We're definitely going to sign Takamu Collins. $3 million should get that done. So we definitely went under slot with the first 3 guys. Actually, with all our guys, except for Collins. Karpat, how much does he want? Not that much. How much money do we have? Not a lot. We're going to pass on Karpat and the rest of these guys to save money for international amateur free agents. So let's simulate this series. We've already lost 2 games. Lose a third, and we salvage the 4th. We move into first place as Collins and Halloran accept the signing bonus offers. So I'm going to cut out here and move forward to July 2nd for the start of international amateur free agency. See you guys then. Alright, we are back on the 2nd of July. We are now 2 games out of the division. Went on a bit of a rough patch and then kind of bounced back. We had some trouble here against Colorado and Chicago and then Cleveland. And swept Washington, got swept by San Francisco, split with Washington, and then have won 2 straight against the Cardinals, who, if you remember, just had the number 1 overall pick and are around 500 this year, so they're not terrible. Currently tied for the 2nd wild card spot with Pittsburgh. Wow, Atlanta's doing really well. This must be the dream team. Ozzy Albies hitting 360. No, Dansby Swanson, but looks like they have a really good rotation. Whistler, Biddle, Dylan Peters, Kyle Freeland, and Joe Kelly. Not the rotation you expect to all have under 4 ERA. Where is Dansby, by the way? He is hurt, yeah. Oh, wow. Lost him for the season. That sucks. He was hitting pretty well, too, and is a stud. So, we actually do not have a ton of money, but good news is there's not a ton of international free agents I want. This is the only guy, and he wants 1.8, so I think if we give him $3 million, he'll accept right here. And that's all I'm really going to look at for international amateur free agents. We did have an injury. Jose Iglesias went down. That was not too harmful. We called up Luis Sierra, and he's hit pretty well in 13 at-bats. Vargas is now playing shortstop with Matthias at second base. Still no Hurria, and he's still hitting 270, over 400 on base. I wish there was a way you could like tell your manager, like, yo, dude, I kind of want this guy to play because he's a top prospect. Like, if we're not gonna play him, might as well get some seasoning. Call up like Clay Casey. We have a ton of outfielders. We might end up trading one of these guys if Hazley ever doesn't get hurt. But see, we don't have anyone who can really play center field besides Zanguis, and that's only a 20. So, don't know what we're gonna do. But let's keep going forward. That's at least a year or two away before we have to make some decisions there. As Ramirez says, not yet. This is the most we can offer him is 3.4. I wasn't expecting a bidding war for him. That's a bit surprising. We've now won 5 or 6 straight. I believe 5. Yes. Royals are in it. That's surprising. You guys just have to accept that regardless of what team I'm playing with, I'm going to mention the Royals. It's just going to happen. We win 6 straight, still half a game out, and we get the update. Did he sign? He did. So I always forget to look at expiring contract information. It always hurts me. Lavulo, I've been pretty happy with him so far. So I'll give him 4-year extension. We haven't been really terrible in any year. The worst we've done is 72 and 90. Alright, Trainer, Crenshaw. He's solid across the board. You don't really get guys like that. You get guys who are either really good, or really bad. My mouse is not doing great right now, but I'd love to give Crenshaw an extension. And then hitting and pitching coach. Pitching coach Actually, pitching coach is really good. So we're going to keep him around. And our hitting coach, Chris Crone. Hitting coach. For some reason that sounded wrong to me. I haven't been thrilled with him. Hasn't had one better than 260, so I think we're going to pass on bringing him back. So we've got 2 series left before the All-Star break. Got to bring Iglesias back, but I'm not sure I really want to. I like what we have going on for us right now. So, see what we can get. Leo DeRocher. That's funny, the Jim Palmer quote. Anyway, only guy we're getting offered is Corey Spangenberg. Do we have a team option for next year with Iglesias? I'm pretty sure we do. Oh, we got to check the DL. Because I'm not sure I really want to bring him back. Yeah, we do. So I guess we got to keep him on the roster for now. I'm going to send it down Danny Santana. He needs to be waived. He's hit fine, but he doesn't really have a spot on this team with Sierra. I did not mean to click trade, but we'll see what the offers are. Otherwise, we're just going to DFA him. See some name. I just saw a name that wow, we might actually get a really good offer. I saw Aaron Blair, Aaron Judge. I want to look at Aaron Judge. I definitely saw Aaron Judge's name come up. Yeah, he's on the Indians now, and he kind of sucks. It's unfortunate. I'm definitely thinking about it. It looks like we could get a decent player for Danny Santana, so let's look. Let me take a drink of water quick. Alright. I'm going to remember Aaron Judge there. Does he have options left? He's in arbitration. He does have options left, so we can put him in the minors for now. Or send down Huria, which I kind of think I'm going to do. Wow, Delino to Shields. Tyler Austin. Manny Sanchez. I don't think we need more outfielders, really. If there are some good infield prospects, yeah, I would be thrilled, but I think Aaron Judge is our best bet for now. Yeah, let's do it. Bring in Aaron Judge. We're going to add him to the active roster. His rating goes up. And we're going to send down Huria, because for some reason our manager won't start a 4.5-star player. And then add Iglesias back off of the DL. And we continue. So, I made a trade. I can't even remember what it was. It was for 2 minor league players. We sent a minor league player, got back a minor league player. Let me check the transaction logs. I did that in like May. Transaction log. Oop. Wow, my mouse is really struggling. That's not what I'm... This is not... Where's the trade log? Find someone you traded for. How about Aaron Judge? Trade log. Alright, it was in May. Yes, here. We got a catcher and sent Victor Reyes. It was actually in March. Did I mention this last episode? I might have. I, for some reason, thought we did it later. But if I didn't, we got a decent young catcher. And if I already mentioned it, oh well. We've won 2 straight, still a game and a half back. Chargewa, sore shoulder. Wow. Should be better by the time the All-Star break is over, as we lose to Milwaukee right before. And let's take a look at our All-Stars. Archie Bradley, hell yeah, he's having a fantastic season. And Nathan Eovaldi. Let's get Archie Bradley on an extension while he's still kind of cheap. That's more than I expected, but 9 and then 16, he'll be 32 when this is over. No, 33. Because it will take into effect next year. His arbitration estimate is 10 million, so this is probably good for us. For next year and the future. Cool. Archie Bradley on a long-term deal, because he could, knock on wood, win the Cy Young this year. As the American League wins 10-1. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4.5 series before the trade deadline. Simulate to the end of the second Miami series. Chargewa, another minor injury. No need to put him on the DL. He'll be back. That's a DL injury. And we will call up Barrett. And guys, look at this. David Hamilton looking not like a complete bust. Good. It's really good. He's hitting pretty well in Double-A. Just got called up. He wasn't hitting well in Single-A, so they called him up to Double-A and hits well. Because that makes sense. Happens sometimes. So we won 2 out of 3 from Miami. Get a trade proposal. And the Maxwell trade, I don't know if I mentioned this, but that was offered to me by the CPU, which is, I think I mentioned this last episode. Not the first, but one of the first CPU offered trades I've accepted ever. As we win 2 and win the 3rd, so we sweep Milwaukee. Bradley says not enough. Changed his mind when he started doing Rule. Again, we're doing 9 next year, and then I'd be cool going up to 16.5. Just making... Wow, my mouse is really struggling right now. Maybe even 9.5 for next season. That adds a couple million to the deal. Maybe he'll accept it this time. We added 500,000 each year. That's all we did. We are tied with the Dodgers for first place. So we lose the first to Philly, fall a game back, lose the second, fall another game back as Justin Grimm will be out for 2 weeks. It's minimal effect. He's been really good. I think we're just going to let him try to play through it as we receive a trade proposal from Minnesota. Michael Reed for Anthony Banda. Okay. You know, I'm kind of considering this. Anthony Banda's ratings going down. Obviously, OSA likes him a bit more. Let's discuss this. Could we get a starter back? I know Joel Cotton's really good, and I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, let's get Jose Barrios. That's a fair deal. What about bullpen help? Nope. Kind of don't want to lose our 5th starter. JB Bukauskas. Dan Hanks. I kind of want. Nope. Yeah, I'm going to say no thanks right now. As we simulate Game 3 against Philadelphia, and we salvage that game. Pull back to 1 behind. I don't want Oswaldo Arcia, and definitely not giving up Mark Zanguis to get him. So that's a no. Now we've got 3 against Miami from Arizona. Get kicked. Game 1, kick back game 2. Braden Shipley doesn't have a great game, and then Archie Bradley doesn't have a great game either. Oh, nope, they changed the order. Because the computer likes to do that for some reason. Game 3 of the series, we lose 2-1. We are 3 games back of the Dodgers. They've gone a little hot streak. So there's Bradley's start. Did not have a bad start by any mean, but offense just couldn't help up. Kyle Barraclough is one of the most interesting players in any OTP save because he's always really good on paper, but then in games, because his control's so bad, he really struggles. So I kind of want to add a 3rd starter. Let's see what trading Oscar Hernandez would get us. As we don't really get younger, but we get less expensive at catcher if we could bring up Clint Coulter. I saw Anthony Desclafani. I saw Robert Stevenson, Nick Tropeano, Alec Asher, Josh Hader, Jonathan VR, Vincent Velasquez. A lot of big names on here. Rob Refsnyder. Here, wow, Travis Dimitri. No. How about a pitcher? Max Duto, no. These guys with high overalls are flashy, but not really what I'm looking for. Where were those pitchers that we saw? Robert Stevenson looks like he's kind of busted. Where's Desclafani? He is not doing great either. Gabe Noah, nah. Any decent pitchers, like 2.5 stars? Andrew Heaney, no. John VR. Delino DeShields again. Michael Geddes. A lot of really recognizable names, but not really. Hunter Wood. Not really guys I want to give up Hernandez for. So I'm going to cut out, look for a trade, preferably adding a 3rd starter who we could maybe control for 1 or 2 years. And I'll get back to you guys when I have something, or if not, for the end of the episode. Alright, I have a decently interesting deal here. It involves getting Danny Duffy, who, in my Royals save kind of turned out shit, but in this save, he's looking pretty good. You know, he has 2 years left, and that is a lot of money. Our available money would actually improve, though, because I think that the Royals are actually still paying Duffy's contract from the trade that sent him there. They got Malik Smith for Duffy, and Grant Gavin is looking like pretty good. But I think they retained his salary, because this is not Oh, this. I need them to retain. So the Royals retain 70%. I need them to retain some of it. So they consider 30% an insult, but 25% is perfectly fine. We are giving up Houston Street and Oscar Hernandez. That is perfectly fine with me. And maybe we could get a prospect. Not another outfielder. I would have to be a pitcher. Yeah, no. I don't think they want to. Even this Jim Setzer? No. For Jason Grimm, no. Alright, so we are giving up Oscar Hernandez and Houston Street for Danny Duffy. I am good with this deal. They are not happy we got rid of Oscar Hernandez, but if you go to free agency, there's actually something kind of interesting. Julio Teheran is a free agent. He's 2.5 stars, 29 years old, and only wants a minor league contract, so I will offer him that. And we'll put him in the minors to start, and if he does well, promote him to the majors. So Duffy will replace Street on the active roster, and Clint Coulter will replace Hernandez. And he has been hitting still really well in AAA. Jake Rogers' ratings are going down a bit, which is concerning, because I don't want to giving up Hernandez when Rogers isn't going to pan out. But Heria is now hitting .274 in AAA. Who would we have to trade to get him to play? I don't know. I'm cool with this as our roster. We're going to simulate the St. Louis series as Jared Miller goes out for 4 weeks. So it looks like Teheran, when he signs, is coming straight to the bigs, as we lost 13-10 in 17 innings. Sim through the trading deadline. We got Teheran signed. We got Bradley's extension signed. And Bundy's dropping because of the injury. That sucks. He was having a decent season. I was kind of hoping he would pan out because we kind of took a risk trading for him. That is not great. So yeah, we will promote Teheran to the big leagues due to the injury by, I already forgot, Jared Miller. And simulated day, Duffy's in the rotation, replacing Shipley, it looks like. Yep. And let's see what they do with Teheran. We got to activate Socrates Brito, so we lose 4-0. Teheran is going to be in the bullpen, it looks like. Okay, who do we send down? Kind of want to send down Dwight Smith. And, oh look, we did it. Oh, he was on the 60-day DL. You gotta drop someone from the 40-man then. Looking like, want to be Jose Iglesias. Looking like Colin Bray. He's going to bite the bullet here. Brito back on the 40-man and back on the active roster. Simulate one more game as Chargeois is eligible to come back. Okay. They're making me do a lot of stuff before they're going to let me in this episode, aren't they? Jake Barrett has not improved, so back to AAA with him. And Chargeois is back on the active roster. Simulate this game and then simulate Monday, and that's it. So we win 4-2. Currently 3.5, now 3 games out of the division. 11 games over 500. I'm not going to calculate how many more we have to go. It looks like Los Angeles is kind of inching away. They're having a really good season. So it looks like another wild card fight for us. Next episode might be Pennant Chase. Hopefully I can record the audio next time. My audio light is on, so this should be recording. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this midseason episode, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.